update. All right.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the debate begins. I'm going to keep quiet, as in fem. Sometimes I'll even walk off. What they're going to do now is between themselves, they'll tell you the modalities of the debate, and then the debate begins in earnest. We have about 50 minutes left because we've used 10 minutes to wait for African God and what have you. So, 3, 2, 1, and you guys tell them what the debates are, tell them what we're starting with, and then who gets to go first. So 3, 2, 1, and over to you guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hey, guys.
Hey, hey, African God, can you hear me? I think you have one.
Yes, clearly.
Is your thing updated now?
Yeah, it works. I'm here.
Okay, so I think we should yield the floor to Bongoli. Bongoli was one that set the rules. So please, Bongoli, can you just tell the viewers the rules, the regulation, and the modality, so we can just start. We've lost 5 minutes, 10 minutes already, but we're going to take 2 minutes from him. Don't worry. Just right on.
All right, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good night, everyone. The modalities of the debates are very simple. The first 5 minutes will be an opening statement because we have different sections for different days. So because today is an introductory session or introductory debate, today is going to be why do you think your candidate is the best? So the first 5 minutes will be an opening statement. Nobody is going to interject. So Team Atiku, Team Obi, Team Asiwaju, nobody is interjecting in the first 5 minutes each. That's 15 minutes. Then the next round is going to be the rebuttal because Team Asiwaju, Team Obi, Team Atiku will say something and the other team will want to counter that. Like, hey, you said this may be true, this may be untrue. That is on that one. There's no, you don't get to get involved or ask questions or whatever the case may be. It's a rebuttal, so no interference. Then the last phase is the Gbos phase. Now that one is where you get to ask questions, where tempers may flare, where voices may be raised. Anything can happen in that particular one. So that one is the last phase where everybody can go at each other respectfully, professionally, and with no insult. And I'd like to use this medium again to apologize to everyone that felt offended the last time when I came on. I apologize. I'm sorry to everyone. I love you all. We're all fighting for one Nigeria, a better Nigeria. Thank you all very much. And then also, so from the following week, subsequent week, week 2, it could be agriculture. Week 3, it could be insecurity. Week 4, it could be education. And so the team leaders will agree on what the modality, what the topic should be, but the format still remains the same. I hope I spoke well, and everyone, I hope that is what we all agree. And also, you can have 2 members. You can have a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 2 members to speak. So Team Tinubu or Team Obi or Team Atiku will have a maximum of 2 people to speak on their day. So it depends on how they manage their time in between. So I think I've said everything. I hope I did not miss anything.
Also, something else that we added is there was an assumption that today that the team leaders are the ones that are going to speak. But we also spoke about the fact that whoever it is that the teams agree to speak are the ones that are going to speak. And for that reason, on my own team, there's going to be 2 people here today. And I am yielding my position today because we did not find me to be the best person to represent today. So I'm going to give you the handle of the person, of the lady, of the woman who is going to help us start this. Our group is a group that is balanced, fair, and is a democracy. And they have chosen that these 2 people are the ones that are going to speak. So that it frees, I'm just here for the introduction and for the first time. I would like you to please help me bring on. And I just want to explain so that I don't have to come up anymore, so that you know how it goes. For the first 5 minutes,
okay,
I'll tell you the handle. Our handle is Diary of a Canadian Mom. She's the one that's going to take the first 5 minutes. She's the one that's going to take the first 5 minutes. Diary of a Canadian Mom. And Mother Voice is going to take the second 5 minutes and also the Gbas. And I also want to say here that the team they're ready, everybody's ready to go, and everybody has sent you a request. So please just bring them on as such. So the first 5 minutes, Priye, that is diary of an African, of a Canadian mom, that's a handle, is coming on. And then Mother Voice is going to come and then finish with the rest of the event. Thank you guys very much. I respect everybody and for the opportunity. You guys are going to be blown away. Everybody here, the team leaders have collaborated over time. Whatever it is that had transpired, there's no issue. Everybody's collaborating and we're doing our best to make sure that we put our voices out there. So let's go, guys. So Daddy Freeze, I'm out. I'm going to be right.
All right, he's out and being represented by Diary of a Canadian Mom. Diary of a Canadian Mom. Send me a request real quick. Let's keep this running.
And sorry I just want to say something quickly while you're trying to get the Canadian Mom in.
All right.
We just to succumb what Bongoli said, we have this agreement. It's going to be 1-2 people maximum. So it's going to be either the team leader with one other person, right? I'm sure Bongoli, that's what we agreed on the modalities, yeah? So tonight, I'm also here with Alay Saidu. He's going to take the next 5 minutes, and it's just both of us, and that's it. So we're good. We're going to run this through, and we're ready. I gave his handle, right? I sent his handle to you.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so he's on. And in any case,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Timatiku, go ahead when you're
so
done.
In any case, he's not available. Maybe he has a problem of network. I'm here still.
Over to you, Bongoli. You're good with that?
All right, yes. For me, I'm the only one representing my team for this particular debate.
Awesome. So, get to first. Should we start ladies first or?
No, team.
No, we had the agreement. You remember the modalities?
Yes, I think we'll stick to the modalities. Yeah.
So let us stick to what we started. So, anyways,
I have to tell the world the modalities. So you guys say Team Atiku starts first. That's why I just asked that. I want it to be free. Fair. This is a very delicate interview. Sorry, a very delicate debate. And just in case Temper starts to play, oh, why is Peter Obi not starting first? Why is Peter Obi starting last? You understand?
No. Yeah. So, I'm sure we're way past that. We're way past that.
So is, as agreed by you guys, team leaders, is Team Atiku?
Yeah.
Yes. Then I'm
yes, please.
Ashiwaju is second. Team Ashiwaju is second.
And then Peter Obi is third. Okay, guys. So we're kicking off with the rest of you watching, handing over to Mustafa Alpha, team leader, team AKA the articulated ones. Take over.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Freeze. Good evening to all the viewers out there. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is. I mean, it's lovely for me to be here tonight. I'm so excited I'm here tonight. I'm very excited tonight. And to the two support of the support of the two political parties, I hope we're going to have a very civilized debate tonight, discussion tonight, to enlighten the viewers, those that don't know about our candidates, why they are, I mean, I have to correct that, not the best, but our preferred candidate, for the job of the president. Anyways, let me start by saying that I'm a member of PDP. I see myself tonight as an ambassador of PDP and also to Atiku Abubakar. And I believe in Atiku Abubakar. I believe in what he can do. I believe in what he has done. And I believe in his agenda. I believe in the love that he has for this country. Anyways, when we have these little arguments here and there, and what everybody talks about the candidates' experience, they went to school, they did that, yada, yada, yada. But let me just start. Let me introduce Atiku Abubakar to those that don't know. Atiku Abubakar went to primary school in Adama, secondary school in Adama. Then also, before moving to the higher education from secondary school, he got a job. That's where the experience begins. In 1965, if I'm not mistaken, 1965 thereabout, Atiku Abubakar got a job as a tax officer, not in any just place, but in the regional Ministry of Finance in 1965. I think that's where the experience started. They started developing that, and that's what we believe. We, especially me, I've been articulated from 2019. You understand? That's why I believe that he's the most preferred, most capable candidate for this. Then moving on, because we have no time, he now went to he now went to, what do you call it? The School of Hygiene in Kano for, I think, between 1966, thereabout, and then graduated from diploma of law in ABU Zaria. In 1965 thereabout. So 1967. If I'm not sure, if I'm not mixing the years. But anyways, what I'm trying to say, even when he finished school in 1969, diploma from ABU Zaria, guess what he did? He enrolled and joined the customs. In 1969, during the Civil War, he joined the customs, and this guy went on to spend 20 years. And rose to one of the highest rank of the customs, as deputy director. For 20 years, he was director of the customs. And this guy gathered a lot of experience in business, in whatever he could gather at that point in time when he was in customs. So, 20 years later, of course, the guy resigned and went fully into politics. Fully into politics and business. That's what we're looking at about 1989. So for me, and for us articulated, I believe with this. I mean, we're going to go further up to expatiate what he has done before his achievement, what he can bring to the table, why he's the unifier. We're going to go into that because I think I have about 5 minutes to speak for the first segment. So I will yield the floor to my esteemed supporter from the other political party, the Shiwaju, if I'm not wrong, right? The Shiwajus.
Yeah, thank you very much, my senior colleague. I'll start by saying this. Effective leadership is not about making speeches or being liked. Leadership is about results and not attributes. And that is why I am advocating for Asiwaju Abenbola Tinubu, the leaders of men, the makers of men, the Jagaban of Bogu, the chief architect of modern Lagos. I am an APC member. And I'll start by saying there was an article that came out last week on Bloomberg. The Debt Management Office came out and said that Nigeria might run into a debt distress, meaning that 6.3% of what we are making, our revenue, is 6.3% of our GDP. And with that being said, that means that at this stage we are going, we may run into a debt distress. Now, just in 2021, 94% of the revenue of Nigeria was used to pay to service our loan. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because we need a revenue generator, a proven revenue generator. And that is where Asiwaju comes in. Aside all of this that I've said, Asiwaju stands out in at least 5 different categories here, because I'd like to break it down. Firstly, in performance. Secondly, in succession. Thirdly, in his manifesto. Fourthly, in how he separates politics from governance and then growth and development. And fifth and finally, is foreign policy and how he engages with the outside world. Because let me tell you guys, let us be very factual here. There are trade ceilings. There are bilateral trade. You cannot just make any product. You cannot just sell any product. And you need to have very good experience in relating with the powers that be in the world. We cannot deny that, because Nigeria is not at the stage where we have that bargaining power, bargaining chip. So now let's go ahead and let's talk about his performance. This man turned around Lagos State that was given a revenue of 600 million naira per month. He turned it to a state that is generating about 45 billion naira at least per month. Lagos State in itself is giving the federal government 500 billion naira per year in VAT alone. Then do you want to talk about job creation? Now, in job creation, Asiwaju was able to create millions and millions of agencies. For example, when I mean millions, I mean millions of jobs for hundreds of agencies. I'll give you a typical example. Loma, for example, Lagos State Waste Management Agency, that has employed hundreds of thousands of people directly and indirectly. Now, this is the catcher here. Imagine if we have a federal waste management agency. I don't think we have that. Now, let me go on again. I'll talk about the BRT program. Now, with the BRT program, for example, imagine if we have BRT lanes in all 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT. Imagine the kind of job creation. Imagine somebody that started the IPP, that is the Independent Power Plant, bringing that into Nigeria to put more megawatts into the power grid. Now, Asiwaju is looking at biofuel. He's looking at, because Asiwaju is transcendental. He's not thinking about right now. Asiwaju is thinking about 2050, 2050. For example, again, and when you talk about bonds, and borrowing like bonds and all that, bond, making money from bonds, making money from capital markets, Asiwaju was a pioneer in doing that. Then 2 decades later, the Nigerian federal government started doing the same. So I will also talk about, there's a lot that we can talk about. Let's talk about succession and continuity. Look at how many people that has worked alongside Asiwaju. Asiwaju brings only technocrats in, people that are hungry, that are ready to do the job. And Asiwaju doesn't even know what is called a tribe. Ben Akabweze was a minister, was a commissioner under Asiwaju at the time, worked in his cabinet. Ben Akabweze today is an Igbo man. He is the debt management DMO, Director General, or the CEO of the Gbos. I can count countless people, and also RIP to Kemi Nelson. She's one of our leaders, our women leaders. RIP to her. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Now I need to rush this. The next one in his manifesto. Now, guys, I'll tell my team member to please copy the Premium Times report on the comparison of all three. It's on Premium Times of all three candidates, and look at what their manifestos are, just mini manifestos. Now, Asiwaju encompasses the SMART principle: to be specific, to be measurable, to be actionable, to be relevant, and to be time focused. If you look at the other ones, it is somewhat vague, but Asiwaju kept to numbers. In so year, this is what I will do. That is how you begin to put in the KPI, the key performance indicator, as to how to measure growth, how to measure success. I know I have maybe like less than a minute. I'll talk about manifestation of policies, knowing how to play the politics, knowing when to play the politics, knowing how to get the numbers. And then you look at governance. How did he govern Lagos in a dynamic way, in a dynamic fashion? Remember, leadership is about results. It has nothing to do with attributes. And we can go on and on about this, but I think my time is up now, so I'll stop here. Thank you very much. My time is up, right?
Yep, long time. But it's okay.
I thought it was 5 minutes.
It's okay, it's cool. It's good.
Daddy Freeze, we can't hear you. Daddy Freeze, we can't hear you, sir. Daddy Freeze, we can't hear you. Yes. Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm a bit.
I'm sorry, you cut me off. Cut me off, sir. Anytime I'm just cut me off.
Yeah, please, 5 minutes is 5 minutes. Over to you.
I'm sorry. Cut me off.
Team Peter Obi. We've got Priye, Diary of a Canadian Mom, and for the next 5 minutes, the floor is.
Thank you, everyone, my co-debaters. Thank you, Daddy Freeze, for using your platform for awareness. We're in a very, very pivotal moment in the history of Nigeria, determining the next president. I'm here to tell you reasons why Peter Obi's candidacy is what Nigeria needs. Not just what we want, but what we need at the moment. With reference to planning and transformation of a city, Peter Obi met Anambra State in shambles, and from 2009 to 2028, he came up with a 20-year structural plan alongside UN Habitat for 3 major cities: Onitsha, Nnewi, and Awka, the capital territory, restore the urban planning into the future. That is what the governors who have come after him are using till date in the development of Anambra State. The plans contain policies and proposals for land use, city beautification, road infrastructure, industrial development, housing, waste disposal, water supply, health and educational facilities along all the cities in the state. No other governor has a city plan to this extent that runs for a 20-year period. I repeat, no other governor has done it in Nigeria. Now, why am I saying this? The need for continuity is very important. We cannot continue to put people who feel like it's their turn every single time, and anytime they assume office, they sack everybody in all the parastatals and replace them with who? My people, my guys, my friends. And one of the aspirants has even boldly said he's going there and he wouldn't mind making his friends rich. This is in this pivotal time where we're the poorest country in the world, and has the Lagos being the second worst city to live in according to the Economist publication on 25th of June. We cannot afford it. Simply, we cannot afford anyone with wasteful thinking. Peter Obi's stinginess, as they call it, is what people make reference to, and that's because he gets this, people kick against him because they know that when he comes, the Ghana must go sharing formula, kill and divide, the national cake thing will end. We have a history of management of resources under Peter Obi. Let me give you an instance. The Lagos State HDI, as at the time, 2007, was 0.4. We all know that any human development index that goes below 0.5 is regarded as low. That same year, 2007, when Tinubu was leaving, was when Peter Obi was entering into office. And that same year, he put his HDI for his state, the citizens of his state, to go above 0.5, which is 0.66. In 2019, the trend continued because, like I said, don't forget, Anambra State is operating with a plan that Peter Obi has put in motion and is still going on till date. Lagos State was put at a HDI of 0.686 with a GDP of 100 billion USD. Meanwhile, Anambra State had a GDP in 2019 of only $6 billion. Same HDI. Please, what are we talking about here? Management of resources, especially now that Nigeria has debts that extend up to 2080 for our children to pay. We cannot afford the kill and divide leaders, the people who will say, oh, okay, I just give my person, my people, come, and just have a jolly good fellow time with our national treasure. We can't afford it. Nigeria, we all left. Most of us abroad have left Nigeria because of the situation of Nigeria. We need somebody who has proven experience in management of resources, who has proven experience in being corruption-free, meaning he was audited at the end of his tenure and nothing was found on him. We need somebody who is willing to be Nigerian at heart and not a tribalist in nature in any way, shape, or form. Neither do we need anybody who is willing to promote religiosity and ethnic divide. Peter Obi is that nationalist, and I'm here to tell you he is what Nigeria needs come 2023. Thank you.
All right. So team leaders, you've heard from the team leaders, everyone. They've spoken their mind. They've shared their ideas with you. And right now, it is time for us to move to the very next section. So what is the very next section? Can you guys please assist us by letting us know?
I think I have to leave that to Vongoli. Is the leader of this. Is the leader of this this debate when it comes to the team leaders. So he puts everything into motion and we follow.
All right.
Okay, so the next stage is what's it called? It is called the rebuttal. So everything that has been said by each of us, like you, it's time to rebut. So I'm thinking we'll go in that pattern because Team Atiku, as said, two of us speak, to give time for Team Obi to prepare and myself to prepare. So I think Team Atiku, You're next to speak now on the rebuttal phase.
All right. Thank you so much. Before I go on.
Understanding, the rebuttal is everything Peter Obi and Tinubu has said to start by giving their own version of those facts or ideas or whatever it is they said. So over to Mustafa Alpha, team leader, team. Over to you.
Okay, so in my introduction earlier, I said that I was going to speak for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to bring Seidu in for another 5 minutes. And then it goes to me again another 5 minutes. If it's available, let me give you his handle, then you can bring him in while I just stay behind and watch. So his handle is at Seidu, as SAIDUKO.
Yes, Daddy Free, same here. I have my colleague as well, Michael Obodozie, coming up. African God, please can you share his handle with Daddy Freeze? He's supposed to take up the rebuttal. Thank you.
All right, so Mustafa Alpha, I'm going to go to your chat with me.
Yes, Daddy Freeze.
Send me his name via chat. Via DM.
Okay, so let me just quickly do that. And I think I did send it to you earlier though. So it's at Said UKO. I've sent it to you. I DM'd you.
All right. So let me remove you and bring him in for the rebuttal.
All right.
Diary of a Canadian mom. Can I bring in your representation too?
Yes. African God should have shared his handle with you.
That is Mother Voice.
Michael. Yes, Mother Voice. Thank you very much.
And bring Mother Voice. Hello, Mother Voice.
Hey, hi, Daddy Priest. How are you doing?
Awesome. Very well, thank you. Are you ready for the rebuttal?
Totally ready. And we'll just go in the order that we started initially.
All right, so we're waiting. Okay. All right, so there is the other gentleman, Saiduko. So right now, Team Atiku is on this side, Peter Obi is on this side, and with me on my level is Team Tinubu, represented by DJ Bongoli. So, Team Atiku, over to you for the rebuttal.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
my name is Said. How are you doing? I had all your. I want us to be very critical and passionate for our country first, before party and candidacy. When you speak of Nigerian politics, we speak of typography. What happens in one end does not happen in the other end, or is not acceptable in the other end. And for any candidate, from what from Tim Obi said, that they don't need a candidate that would bring in tribalism or any religious sentiment. She has to be specific. Who is she referring to? Everybody has represented so well in his own aspect, but I have my preference and I have my reasons for my preference. Why I like Atiku Abubakar, it's no reason other than a candidate that has produced a blueprint and a roadmap, and it's out there. That's why I appreciate him as a candidate. And I love him because he has a federal character. He has functioned in a state and he has done so well in a particular state. No. He has functioned as vice president before. He has worked at Federal Immigration Service. So that gives him an edge over other candidates. Atiku Abubakar is so passionate, and you cannot tell him or call him to be tribalistic. One, is married to an Igbo lady. Two, is also married to a Yoruba lady. So that aside, I'm so passionate about the country first, which is most paramount. And when we give figures and statistics, please let's be factual. We can't be quoting figures and giving some bogus amount that it has been remitted or it has, where are those funds? Those are the issues. If you look at my candidate's blueprint, you'll see them in it. There's no need, you want to sell yourself, bring a blueprint. Let the whole country look at it. Then we know who is our preferred candidate. Thank you.
All right, so the rebuttal team Atiku has started and we're moving over to Team Ashiwaju. Thank you so much, Team Atiku, for staying within the time frame of 5 minutes. Bongoli, over to you. Emphasis on 5 minutes. The time
Yes, thank you.
22 past midnight Nigerian time, and the table is yours, or the floor.
All right, so I'll go with Team Atiku. Team Atiku, the leader of Team Atiku said a lot of things, but I want to remind him of one thing. They calls him a unifier, but they are fighting in the PDP right now. You unifying, what are you unifying? Secondly, you claim that, oh, you have all of this economic power and you brought these people together. Today, Obi Ezekwesili sent a disclaimer and told PDP NG on Twitter, do not associate me and saying that Atiku brought me in. Atiku did not bring Obi Ezekwesili in. Atiku did not bring Okojo Iweala in. Atiku did not bring Charles Soludo. Soludo was Andy Uba. Okonjo Iweala was OBJ that headhunted her. Let the Atiku team tell us about the $20 million scandal that Atiku went to go and withdraw without the approval of the Federal Executive Council. Kola Alogbodiyan, that is PDP's current media speaker, media advisor, whoever is one that did that investigation. Let them tell us about what he did with Intel. He nearly got into power and he extended it for 20 years. And just recently, Buhari said, I was not going to extend it. Let him tell us about the Alibotin scandal. Let him tell us about all all the over 60 government institutions that he privatized, and where are they today? They are all in shambles. Now let me go to Peter Obi. My beautiful sister that came online gave very, very false information on Peter Obi. Now Peter Obi met Anambra State's government economy in shambles and left it in shambles. When he came in 2006, the federal allocation to the IGR was 83 to 17, and he left it at 83 to 17. He is one of the most unproductive governors that we've had in the history of Nigeria by increasing the IGR of Anambra State by a paltry 18% within 8 years. When his budget, when he came in 2007, was 54, and it was at 140, he left it at. That was about 1,000, almost 1,500% increase, but that didn't even reflect in the IGR that was coming in. That shows that the budget utilization was very poor. Now, you said something about creating a city or creating a plan. Ashiwaju has been creating plans. He even created Lekki Free Trade Zone. That's what you are seeing now, that he has a new port on his own. Now, you talk about saving money and all of that stuff. Abia State governor Abia State government came out and said he owed 185 billion. That's why he left in debt. And if you go to the debt management office as of June 30th, 2014, as 2014 he left. 2014 when he left, they say he was $41 million in external loan and $3 billion in internal loan. According to Chukwuemeka Soludo, the poverty increased by 238% in Anambra from 2004 to 2010. Now, when we are talking about Lagos and its IGR, let us remember that Lagos has the highest population density in Nigeria. Lagos State is the smallest, 3,500 kilometers square, and you have over 25 million people. That is, if you divide that, that is about 7,150 or so people per kilometer square. And somebody is managing that to the best of his ability. Imagine what he will have when he has Lagos. Then there was some information she made. She said in 2018, there was $6 billion IGR. That's impossible. The highest IGR that Obi ever made was 8.7 billion. and that was when he left. And Obiano took it up to about 20-something billion before he left. So let us come with facts, please. I beg you. I yield my time. Thank you.
Omo, this debate is interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, finally over to the representation of Team Peter Obi, and his name is Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, your 5 minutes begins now.
Thank you, Daddy Freeze. Thank you for hosting this, and thank you for everyone for watching. I also want to appreciate my amazing team for preparing me for tonight. Just after listening to Bongoli speak, you can tell why he is on the show tonight by himself. And he doesn't understand anything about leadership, much more democratic leadership. Leadership is not about winning. It is not about victors. Leadership is about giving people justice, giving them fairness, giving them opportunities at that chance to get some happiness. That's what it's about. We don't care about winning. We want somebody who is fair, somebody who has integrity. Let me ask you this, viewers. If you are the gate of heaven and you had Tinubu, Atiku, and Peter Obi, and the angel said, you can take only one of them with you into heaven. But if you choose the wrong one, you'll be redirected to hell. Who would you choose? Tonight, we have three characters, and just this past week, we found out that Tinubu was the accountant for a harrowing operation in Chicago. I know you have nothing to say about that. You would not address that. Secondly, I want to talk about maker of men. When it comes to maker of men, why he is a maker of men is because he believes in quid pro quo. You do this for me, I do this for you. Why was Ambode pushed out of governance? Because Tinubu does not practice democracy. He practices godfatherism. That's what he practices. Okay? I like to say this also, that when it comes to Atiku, it seems like he's a nice guy, and they praise him for having so many wives, both in Africa, in Nigeria, and across the world. But this was one of the wives he used as a conduit for the whole money laundering scheme that got Senator Jefferson of the United States into jail for 13 years. The money flowed through her bank account. Okay, you marrying wives from every part of the world does not mean that you can give us a better country, unify us. We're men. Men sleep with women for sleeping's sake. Because you have a woman at home in the house doesn't mean you're going to be fair to everyone around you. In addition to that, I want to also take on this point about Lagos State. Bongoli, I think you have a little bit of dementia. Lagos State was, for 24 years, the capital of Nigeria. Within that time, the federal government and many citizens from many states in Nigeria came to Lagos, built Lagos up, the roads, the stadiums, and everything that it had. Since that time till now, Lagos is still being flooded, which shows that Tinubu did absolutely nothing. Again, Bongoli, you come out on social media all the time. You speak about how what you do for your community in Nigeria, in Satellite Town, is save them from tanker farms and the tanks, the containers parking in their neighborhoods and polluting the area, polluting the neighborhood. And you forget that this is Tinubu's legacy. Tinubu was there. He put Fashola, he put Ambode, and he put Sanwo-Olu and nothing. And you, Ali Bongoli, if Nigeria was so good, you will not be in America. You're such an intelligent guy. You will not be in America. You'll be in Nigeria enjoying the life that Tinubu gave to you in the state of Lagos. I do not believe that Tinubu is the man for this job. And I do not believe, with Atiku again, when Deborah was killed in Sokoto, he came out with an absolutely fantastic, he said it wasn't him, maybe it's his social media manager. It said, he gave condolences to Deborah, and he said that anybody who was responsible for her death should be seen to justice. And after he was threatened by some extremists, he deleted the tweet. A perfectly good tweet. What was wrong with that tweet? This shows that Atiku is spineless and cannot be the leader of Nigeria. We need Peter Obi, a man who stands for integrity, a man who has no EFCC, he has managed banks, he has been the head of banks and other financial institutions, and he has never been caught up in saying that he was being investigated by the EFCC. Thank you very much.
I thought we're about to start Gbos. When I don't Gbas on ourselves, when I never even start Gbos. Yay. Hey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final segment for the clash of the supporters. I'm enjoying this like I'm watching Netflix. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that Daddy Freeze has a show this hot. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is sponsored by The Black Mentor. The Black Mentor is an investor. You can reach him via Instagram at The Black Mentor. He's the sponsor of today's episode. And The Black Mentor is into investment. So you want to buy a property in the US, you want to a property for investment, not for instance, and you want to pay gradually. You don't want to pay all at once, you want to pay gradually. Get in touch with The Black Mentor at The Black Mentor, okay? At The Black Mentor, our sponsorship, our sponsor for this week. Remember, any financial decision you take, you cannot blame Daddy Freeze for it. Daddy Freeze is not a financial advisor. All I do is bring people to my platform, and my platform is sponsored by people. But you make the financial decisions, and you do every single financial decision at your own risk. But if you're interested in owning a property in the US and that property earning for you, do reach out to The Black Mentor, sponsor of today's episode. And also, if you want to give mileage to your brand and sponsor another episode of Clash of the Supporters, feel free to reach me by DM or by email, freezecoolfm@yahoo.co.uk. If you're interested in sponsoring from anywhere in the world, I'll give you my rates, and then your business is definitely going to receive a lot of limelight, or should I say showcasing. I also want to put the debate on other blogs, and it's going to cost some money, so I'm not going to give any discounts when it comes to sponsorships on this particular show. So you can help us out with that and make this a reality. And for the final stage of this episode of Clash of the Supporters, sponsored by The Black Mentor, we begin the Gbas and the Gbos. And
now let me go ahead, Daddy Freeze, because he came for me. Now let me say this. I know he's an educated man, but I'm very surprised.
What the modalities are for the Gbas and Gbos before you start. Who's going to start? Why? And what are you going to be doing?
It's organic. Gbos is organic. Anybody can throw anything. This one is just like regular debate.
Organic.
And then you just
pros has 5. Whoever starts has 5 minutes each. So 5 minutes to each.
Okay.
Who wants to Gbas or Gbos, or if you can keep it limited and you can vibe back and forth. So
yes, I would like to vibe back and forth. But if I'm talking, you can talk or whatever it is. Now, firstly, I know this my brother here is educated, and I want to thank him very much. He's been watching me. I says, "Oh, Bongo, you're smart and all that stuff." I like that. Thank you. But I would think that he's more educated than I expected him to be. But he just disappointed me at the end of the day. Why do I say so? Firstly, you talk about tank farm issues that I'm fighting for in my community. Don't you realize that I was under the PDP government, that they were making approvals, that they were selling the lands? Do you think it just started happening?
I'm not a PDP member, and I don't care about parties. Our team has said it severally. We don't care about what party. We're concerned about Nigeria. And if you have cognitive dissonance where you do not know that you are stabbing yourself in the back by choosing Tinubu, then that's on you. I'm not a member of a party.
Okay, fine. You say you're not a member of the party. I get that. But I'm telling you how things work in Nigeria. How things work in Nigeria is you go and get approval. You do your safety study. You do
how things work in Lagos. How things work in Lagos is how Tinubu wants it to work. Tinubu does not care about his party. Tinubu does not care about PDP. Okay. It's all about Tinubu. Okay. So you cannot blame your tank farms on anyone other than Tinubu and his sons, Fashola, Ambode, and Sanwo-Olu, the Emiloko crew.
Okay, are you done now? Can I talk now?
No.
Okay, now. So now, okay, I will explain it to you again. They get approvals from Abuja. Satellite Town is a federal project. States just allocate lands. And for you to cite such industrial industries in that kind of area, you need federal approval. At the time, you needed what's called DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources, which is now called NMSDPRA or something like that. So I'm explaining that to you. Secondly, you talked about flooding in Lagos. I'm disappointed at you because you should know that Lagos is in top 10 flood cities that are sinking. Lagos State is actually sinking. It's in top 10.
It's top 10 because Tinubu and his boys did nothing other than give themselves large pensions. They were getting six cars every 2 years. They were getting 300% of their salaries every 2 years. They did absolutely nothing. You cannot blame the flooding in Lagos to God or to Nigerians throwing trash. The Lagos State government, which has been led almost by 20 years by Tinubu, has done nothing to make the people's situation better, and the people know it. That's why they complain. Let me give you an example. There's a gentleman called Nathaniel Bassey, one of the nicest guys in the world. Anything that's time something happens, he might call Jesus. But he literally had to record the flooding and call out the governor of Lagos State to come and fix the problem. But the governor was campaigning for Tinubu carrying his bag.
Are you done? Are you done, sir? So now let me explain what flash flooding is for you. Since you are not, since I thought you were very educated, but I'm disappointed. The more you speak, the more it just comes out like you don't even know what you are saying. Now, flash flooding is when rain falls for less than 6 hours. Now, the Lagos State government, under the commissioner for the environment, says that the rainfall in Lagos State is going to be 1,750 millimeters. You need to calculate, because for you to have a higher rainfall, it is 5.6 millimeters inches.
Bongoli, Tinubu did not. Tinubu knew this. Tinubu knew this 20 years ago and made no plans. He made no plans. Peter Obi, on the other hand, went to the UN Habitat and made a plan for 20 years for his state. And you want to trash that. But now Tinubu doesn't exist. You haven't even mentioned Tinubu's name in the past 5 minutes. You don't remember his name anymore. Now it's the federal government, it's PDP blaming everybody.
Guys. Let me remind you of something. We can all come here and be bulldogs. Believe me, trust me, I can be a bulldog.
Calm down now.
You know what? Let's calm down. We had an agreement that there's no name calling. So Tinubu, I see no reason why you're calling someone names. You're calling someone.
What name did I call? What name did I call?
He had dementia. No, wait.
It's fine.
No. See, Freeze, what we agreed on. We had an agreement. Let's stick to it. We're not here to entertain people with this one hearsay and hearsay. I don't like hearsay. Let's bring facts. And as far as I can see, Tinubu has no clue.
Yeah, we do have a clue. The reason why I live in America is because Atiku and Tinubu have messed up Nigeria. Atiku and Tinubu have messed up Nigeria. That's why we're in America. If Atiku and Tinubu did not mess up Nigeria, we won't be here.
Please, this guy wants to get dirty. Let's get dirty.
We are not done. No, Daddy, please, we are not done. No. We are just starting. We are not done.
Daddy, please, let us get dirty. First of all, this guy from Tinubu has no clue. He doesn't know anything that's happening in Nigeria. He's just one of those boys that speaks English and reads internet. He's telling me that elections are about winning. Then what the hell is Obi doing there? What does he want?
Leadership in democracy is about building institutions. What Tinubu does, what Tinubu and Atiku have done is win. And the way you win in Nigeria is you steal money. You steal money. Atiku and Tinubu have been stealing money to make themselves win. They haven't gotten the support of the people. Across Nigeria today, people are campaigning and rolling for Peter Obi without getting a dime. Anybody who rallies for Peter, for Atiku and Tinubu want money from them. We know they give shishi.
You're not talking English. I want to be 2019, my friend. What are you saying? It's not about winning. What do you know?
All right, hold on. We have peace in the house. One house. You're
talking about Obi. Did you work with Obi? I worked with Obi in 2019 when he was speaking to Atiku. Do you know what the politics?
Nigerians don't care about politics. Nigerians don't care about parties. What Nigeria wants is a leader. We don't care about what party you're from. We want a leader. That's all we want now. Nigeria is too young. Nigeria is too young for a two-party system. It is cheating us. We need a third, fourth, and we need many other forces. Which school did I? It doesn't matter. It does not matter what school I went to. It doesn't matter what school I went to. The school that you went to, allows you to accept the corruption in Nigeria. It allows you to accept and support a corrupt man like Atiku.
You don't know.
It doesn't matter. I know right from wrong. I don't have to go to school.
Right from wrong. What's right from wrong? What do you know is right?
You cannot steal. As the leader, if you want to be a leader of a nation, you cannot steal.
President candidate was or be not. You're talking about Mr. Integrity.
Hold on.
That's not the point. Focus on the future.
Daddy Freeze, please. Thank you. Daddy Freeze, wait, Daddy Freeze, you say I did not say anything. You know what I'm trying to do here? The more Team Obi talks, the more all those facts, wrong facts keep coming out. So while he's talking, I let him finish talking. Then I'll now explain to him how things are wrong.
Okay, Bongo.
Don't argue with him. Let him finish talking. Then you answer him.
We have run out of time and our schedule was 1 hour. So what I'm going to do now is...
Please, I will sponsor 1 hour. Please, I will sponsor 1 hour. I will sponsor 1 hour. Please, I can sponsor 1 hour. No, I'm not doing this. I want to teach you for a second. I will sponsor 1 hour.
I have material, please, I have material.
Let people that know politics talk.
It's not about politics. It's not about politics. Both of you here are for your bellies. You're for your bellies. It's not about politics. It's about leadership. It's about fixing Nigeria. As you are right now, you have left nothing for the future of Nigeria. You don't care about the future of Nigeria.
You have to attain power to achieve what you want. You don't know that. You think they won't sit in your panel and talk about, I want to do IGR. You're talking about IGR. When the country is in turmoil, there's high insecurity. The country is highly divided. And you're talking about IGR. What dirty IGR the Obi do? I have enough respect for Obi. You don't know Obi. You're talking rubbish.
I don't use a lot of abbreviations. I never said anything about IGR.
Hold on, guys. Everybody calm down.
Well, your team member did now. So you are part of your team.
Let that girl come back.
9 minutes.
Please, bring that girl. That girl is more sensible. Bring that girl.
You're being very disrespectful. She's not a girl. Yes. She's a fully grown woman.
No, you've been disrespecting me.
Is she older than me?
All right. Hold on, everybody. Everybody, hold on. You have 9 minutes and you have started using the 9 minutes. So what I'm going to do is 3 minutes each. Everybody else is going to keep quiet. If they don't keep quiet, I will remove them. So whatever point you think your opponent raised, you have 3 minutes to address it. Who wants to go first? What team goes first?
Bongole, I need to talk to you. I yield the floor.
Okay, my own is...
Our sponsor for today is The Black Mentor, and currently he's running investment programs in the US where you could buy a house and pay for it gradually in installments as it yields money for you. His address is info@investorscapital.net. investorscapital.llc.net. I hope I got that. investorscapital.llc.net. Remember, any financial decision you take is taken at your own risk. But Black Mentor is our sponsor for today, and you can be the sponsor next week. Guys, if you're watching on Facebook, please remember to buy stars to support the channel on Facebook, while on Instagram, I'm trying to calm everybody down. You guys can also support and sponsor. Just hit me via DM, or my email address is right there on the top of my Instagram profile. Just via that, you can hit me up by DM or by email to be a sponsor for today, or for the Tuesday Clash of the Supporters. So once again, if you're interested in investing with Black Mentor Real Estate, it's info@investorscapitalllc.net. info@investorscapitalllc.net. Once again, I'd like to reiterate, all financial decisions are taken by you at your own risk. Daddy Freeze is not a financial investor or financial advisor, and that will not stand short or give guarantee for any financial decisions that you take. Keep that at the back of your mind. So, who is going first? 3 minutes each, and we're out of your.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's me. Now my time starts now. Okay.
Starts now.
All right. So it's very simple, guys. Team Obi, they have little to no content, so they just throw slugs and throw shit. They don't know what they are saying. I know he doesn't even know his name of his local government chairman. He might not know his state rep. So from when he was talking, I could already hear already. So I'm not even bothered about him. Now, let's talk about Tinubu's antecedents as regards the U.S. incident or whatever. In 2003, February 4 to be precise, the U.S. government said that Tinubu doesn't have any case whatsoever. Because at that time, he was under the PDP government, and with the PDP government, they were looking for him to hold him. And they said he has never been arrested, convicted, indicted, has no case with them. Secondly, Tinubu, immediately after his regime in 2007, he was put in a tribunal. He has this picture where he did like this. They saw nothing on him. He made so many false claims. He talked about flooding. Flooding, actually, in Anambra State, on that day that there was flash flooding in Lagos, 3 people died in Anambra State. 1 woman lost 3 of her children. Yeah, that particular day, serious erosion and all that stuff. So now, I want to ask Peter Obi guy a question. I want to ask him a question here. This is my time, and I will maybe reuse my time again to answer the question what Tinubu will do. So I'll just keep 1 minute of my time. Since Peter Obi is always saying that Nigeria should switch from a consumerism country to a production country, bearing in mind that he says he wants to run a free market economy. Please, can you answer? Tell me how he's going to go about it when we know the purchasing power of the Nigerian people. I'm asking you that question, sir.
Bottom line, Bongole, is that Nigeria needs to be able to produce enough to feed itself. The prices, people don't care about your technicalities. The problem, I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question. Are you going to let me answer the question? People don't care about your technicalities and all you write down on your paper. What they want is that the inflation in Nigeria should be reduced. The value of our money should be at a good place. It shouldn't be so high. We should be able to produce enough food to take care of ourselves and our children. That's what we want, and that is not what is happening right now. So you can open your hand as much as you want, but that is not what is happening. I've answered your question. If you don't like my answer, you can argue with the gods.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who am I talking to like this?
Right. You have 1 more minute, Bongo.
I'm going to answer that question. Yes, so now let me answer that particular question. Now, with that particular question, Asiwaju in his mandate already has 5 game plans for that. Because he understands the purchasing power of Nigerians at its core, so he does what's called the public-private partnership, which puts less constraints on the government, so the government can budget on all other sectors. The 5 things that will make businesses not to grow, the ease of business to be very tough, the consumerity to production, is your infrastructure. Asiwaju has an national infrastructure plan. Asiwaju is saying that he wants to increase the megawatt of electricity from 5,000 megawatt max to 15,000 megawatt. Asiwaju is saying the 6 geopolitical zones, he wants to make them into agencies and crush monopoly and increase and improve security. Asiwaju also talked about community policing. Asiwaju is also talking about regulation and policies. Look at what is done in Lagos State. Look at LIRS, for example, generating revenue. Look at just recently, Kimberly-Clark is a manufacturing company. They came to Lagos. As tough as Lagos is, they came to Lagos to open their manufacturing industry. I'm a chemical engineer, so I know all of the things that they must have done. So these are the things he's doing. They are bringing people in. He brought the IPP in. You need electricity to run all these things. Nigeria is losing $30 billion on that. These are the main issues. We talk about agriculture, we talk about agbado and all those things that people are making fun of him about. Nigeria is still importing about 25%. Imagine if we focus more on all of those things. You cannot just make vague statements, like just throw it in the air and say, oh, yeah, it's going to turn it from consumer. Look, for example, the Kano State. In Kano State, for example, you talk about the Kano State textile industry. Don't let anybody deceive you. That industry can never be revived, but you keep talking about it because of China, the influence of China.
Bongoli, time up. Who's going next?
That's all I have to say. I didn't even tackle Atiku said. I have a question for Atiku.
No,
let me give my question.
Mustafa, over to you.
Yeah, so let me just take a few points because we're running out of time. And I said earlier, as we said earlier on before, we're going to take each sector and we're going to dissect it. So I don't understand what Peter Obi's team is doing. But anyways, let's get something straight. There's what they call accusations. There's been so many accusations. You talked about Bongoli, you talked about $20 million, you talked about Kola, he talked about Halliburton and all that. And people talked about, Atiku was involved in a scandal in the United States. When we started this debate, we said we want facts. All these are accusations. You understand? We don't have time, but what we agreed on. We said if we don't finish, we're going to go to next week. We're going to continue from where we stop. But I want to get something to you guys. In fact, let me talk to Bongoli because I don't have time with this team. Until they bring someone that knows about politics, then we can talk. Or who knows about what's happening in Nigeria, because clearly he doesn't know what's happening in Nigeria. So let me talk to you, Bongoli. Bongoli, all the accusation, whatever you've said right now, you understand, it's proven, it's facts, and we can prove to you. Remember in 2007, in 1999, when Atiku came on board as vice president, he was heading the economic team. He did not, nobody said that Atiku was the one that brought Equatorial and this into work. What they said, what he stated in record. No, so let me clarify it. Because when people talk, they just talk out of their asses. You understand? Atiku went and discovered. He found out that Equatorial was working there. Brought her in, gathered out Rufai, what's this guy's name? Ribadu. You understand? Because he was chairing the Economic Council of the nation at that time. So when people come and say they deport, they say, it's like, when they say like Ashiwaju, your Oga, he brought this one, I made this one vice president, I made this one governor. No. Atiku found these young people because one of Atiku's prime, if you follow Atiku from 1999, you understand, was to give platform to younger generation, people that have intellect, people that are good at what they do. He goes out there, he fishes them, he brings them on board. And that's how telecommunication, the reform for telecommunication was born, pension was born, integrated banking, you understand, private licenses for all these airline operators. When you are talking about Halliburton, let's go back to Halliburton and that. Atiku, remember that Intel, before Intel came to being, it was Nicotes. If you remember very well, I said we should bring facts. It was Nicotes that was formed. Then before it became, it's there. We'll bring facts and we'll show facts. It was Nicotes, then before it became Intel. And it was not even him. There was a businessman that came in and he's like, he's on the share, he's on the board. So he wasn't the one, he doesn't own it 100%. He was on the board. You understand what I'm saying? So for 20 years, you were saying for 20 years that he did, when he was in customs, remember when he was customs, he started his business, he was also in agriculture. You understand what I'm saying? You get my point? So as I said, today was supposed to be an introduction of our candidates and all that. Of course, we're going to have the Gbos and everything, but let's make it very simple. To the team of Obi, I want you to understand something. You can't come in here and tell me that it's not about winning. Then what's Obi doing? What's Obi doing? What is he trying to do? It's all these things that you guys are campaigning for Obi. Maybe he wants to become president. Then why is he? And you know what? Sorry that if it's not 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I want you to understand that I worked with this OP that he doesn't even know that he's claiming that he knows. In 2019, he was a presidential vice president. So he didn't know Atiku was a criminal at that time when he worked with him in 2019. He didn't know Atiku was a criminal in 2019. It is not that saying that Atiku is this, Atiku is that. Welcome to the next stage. We will bring facts. If there's no facts, I don't want to talk to anybody that doesn't have facts. That's it.
All right.
But please, I want you to stay.
You can't say anything. You've had your time. Team Obi.
Thank you very much, Daddy Freeze. Thank you very much.
Team Obi, you have 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, and we're over.
Okay, thank you very much, Daddy Freeze. Real Mustafa, you really love Atiku, and I advise you to go write him a memoir, write a book for him. That will be fine. You can keep it in history because that's not what we need. We need to talk about the future. Bongoli, you need to search your soul about why you're really doing this. It seems as if people are in a game for politics. We're not playing games. We want a country that works. We don't care about parties. In a conversation about the redemption and the recovery of the soul of Nigeria from poverty, infrastructural decay, insecurity, inflation, Tinubu and Atiku can only be examples of what not to do, what to avoid, and an explanation of how we got here. I would like to also say that in conclusion, what we need right now is for people to go out en masse and vote for the change of Nigeria. Vote for Peter Obi. That's what we want you to do. We want you to go out and get your PVCs. We want to tell your mama, your papa, and everybody in your village to vote for Peter Obi. If we do not vote for Peter Obi, what we have is a choice between two corrupt people, experienced in corruption, experienced in mafiaism, experienced in marrying plenty of women. And unfortunately, Nigeria has many beautiful women. If we fail to vote for the right person, we will end up lining up disgracefully at the American and UK embassies begging for visas. Or we will take the treacherous trek through the Sahara Desert to Libya and then swim across the Mediterranean to get to Europe where they don't even want us. We need to make a choice that gives us back our country and gives us a fighting chance. Thank you.
Daddy Freeze, sorry, Daddy Freeze, just 1 second. No, 1 second. I need to make this is very important. Daddy Freeze, very important. I want to apologize. Daddy Freeze, I want to apologize.
Let them. They're going to pay. They're going to pay. They like to win. They're going to pay you. Let them.
Daddy Freeze, I want to apologize to the lady from Team Obi. I want to apologize. No, seriously. I want to apologize to the lady from Team Obi. I didn't mean to call her a girl. You know what? I love that woman. Sorry, I'm using the word girl. I love that woman. I think she's very articulated when she talks. When she talks, she brings in facts. So once again, I apologize. I apologize to the lady. I apologize. My bad. I apologize. Please forgive me, but that's not what I meant. In fact, let me keep quiet. I'll see you guys next week.
Next week is another date. The debate was hot. I enjoyed it. I was sunk into this. I'm sorry, Bongoli, you had your 3 minutes. Everybody had 3 minutes. We're going to be fair. We're sticking by the rules. That is why I allowed you to make the rules. The rules of today's engagement were done by these three people here and their teams. I had zero input. So when you bring forward your rules, I am just here to help you abide by your own rules. Take care, guys. God bless you. The debate is hot, but we've only just begun. So much to look forward to next week.
2 hours, please. 2 hours next time. 2 hours.
2 hours. We're going to keep it 1 hour. Part of what we're trying to get the team to be disciplined. So, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Once again.
Thank you very much. Team Atiku, Team Obi. I still love you anyway, Timobi. I still love you. This one, smile. Jesus loves you. Smile.
Don't worry. Peter Obi will give us a country that we can go back home to, Bongoli.
The most unproductive governor. I don't want that kind of governor. I will book it. Unproductive. Unproductive. I don't want him. Bye-bye. What kind of governor?
I have to take everybody out because it will not end well. So, finally, our sponsor for today's episode is the Black Mentor. Black Mentor is currently running an investment program in the US where you could buy a house and pay gradually while the house works for you. If you're interested, contact info@investorscapital investorscapitalllc.net. Info at investorscapitalllc.net. Remember, Daddy Freeze is not a financial, how do you put it? Daddy Freeze is not a financial advisor, nor does he endorse any product or service advertised on his platform. Do your due diligence before you invest in any venture: real estate, crypto, forex, immigration, relocation, visa, scholarships. All investment pose some level of risk, and Daddy Freeze will not be held liable or responsible for any decisions, including financial decisions you make. Daddy Freeze gives no guarantees or assurances for guests, advertisers, or sponsors on his platform. Always remember that all decisions, including financial decisions, are taken at your own risk. Thank you so much. If you want to sponsor, you know how to. I love this debate. This is going places. God bless you. Look forward to hosting you again, same time next week on Clash of the Supporters. And trust me, guys, the supporters really clashed.